Jumanji.
Welcome to the jungle.
Maybe we're all in a coma.
What?
Stupid title.
Well,
Sorry, I just have to say that right here. All right.
Well, first of all, Jumanji it's not a remake.
Not a remake. Not a remake. A lot of people are saying that it's a remake.
But it's
not
also
a remake.
not. But it's also not a sequel, is it?
I think it is, but
Okay.
it's
a
spin-off sequel.
Okay, I'll give you that. A spin-off sequel. This movie is actually pretty good. It stars The Rock, as everybody knows who he is. Who else? Jack Black's in this.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Hart, Karen Gillian.
I thought she was.
Reese Darby makes an appearance. I like Reese Darby. He's funny.
Oh yeah, he was in there. I did. This movie is about, instead of being a board game, the premise of this is actually the game evolve into a video game. And so now it's like a council. But the kids somehow find their way to detention and got curious, plugged it in, and they got sucked into the game. In this version of Jumanji is you're in the Jumanji world. And so we thought that was pretty clever. But before we start, let's talk about the bad. We want to start there. What are some things that you think that didn't work in this rendition of Jumanji?
Surprisingly, I didn't have a lot of negative to say. I feel like some of the jokes didn't land, but most of them did. They did a pretty good job. I didn't like how they just kind of rushed through everything and said, okay, they're in the jungle now. I wanted a little bit more character development and a little bit more reason for the game to evolve, because the game, just all of a sudden you see this green light and it's all of a sudden not a board game anymore. It's a video game. So is it alive? Is it know what's going on? Is it aware of its surroundings? If it's like that, why was it stuck on a beach for so long? There's just a lot of plot holes when it comes to that.
Well, but, yeah. I can see that. And part of my negative is about this movie was not about the game. In fact, if you just retile this movie, it could be like any other teenage movie about kids coming up of age, growing up, trying to find themselves.
They could have found a crystal ball and got sucked into that. The exact same.
Yeah, it could have been named The Years of Our Lives, and it still would have been the same movie, because in the old Jumanji, the plot and the story was moved by the game. The game itself moved the story along. In this one, the game has nothing to do with the story. It's about the teenagers. It's about the group of people. And so it kind of lacks the magic of what Jumanji was. The only reason why I think they just kind of like throw that name in so that we can go see it, because it's Jumanji. Because you get a bunch of nods of like the old game. You see the board game. You see, You
see where Alan Parrish was.
Yeah.
For how many years?
So I thought that was pretty cool. But other than that, that's one bad thing that I didn't like, is that it wasn't about the game. It was about the teenagers. Because the first one, it was all about Jumanji, the game, and how it affects you, how it affects your world. And so that was one thing that I didn't like. And I agree with Paul. It was a little bit of a rush, and at the same time, the character development, I can see why they didn't need it as much, because we kind of get the idea of, okay, these are teenagers. They're on their own.
This one's shy. This one's a nerd. This one's a jock.
That's their character.
It reminded me a lot of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
The beginning. Like you guys are going to detention and the Breakfast Club-esque.
Breakfast Club. So it could have been any other movie. So we've seen this type of movie, so I was kind of disappointed in that aspect.
But that's not to say it's not entertaining. So what are some things you did like?
Oh, something I did like is I love the chemistry between The Rock, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and I can't say the girl's name. Gillian, what is her name?
Karen Gillian.
Karen.
Gillian?
Something like that.
Gillian.
Their chemistry is really good. They're funny, and the one that stood out to me was Jack Black. I think his portrayal of being a girl stuck in a man's body was amazing.
I want to add something to that, because in the trailer you see the hot girl turns into Jack Black, and she's all distraught, and I thought that was so annoying when I saw that in the trailer. I was like, great, we're just going to have Jack Black portraying a girl. But he did it so well. And I found myself kind of wanting more of Jack Black pretending to be a teenage girl, because it was funny. Like, it worked. I think anybody else would have failed at that, but because Jack Black did it, it worked.
I think he shined. The Rock was funny, and one of the things that I liked was that the portrayal of the teenagers in the game was pretty similar to each other. Like, the way the nerd, you know, the shy one, The Rock plays the shy, it fits perfect. So the character in that scene was actually pretty good. And Jack Black to me shined. Kevin Hart was Kevin Hart. He was funny.
Kevin Hart's Kevin Hart.
It was funny. And so this movie has good, you know, good element of being funny. It was, you know, you have a little bit of action. The Rock just kicking butt. It has a little bit of heart. You know, they come together, they work together as a team. So there's good elements to this movie. And you know, to me, it was just a funny film for me. I enjoyed it thoroughly. What about you?
Same thing. I liked Jack Black's character. I liked that The Rock was able to act
He was
not
good.
like The Rock.
Yeah, he was good.
He was able to really channel the other kid, like his counterpart, I guess.
Yeah.
And be like a nerd. Be like kind of a scared, non-brave dude. And I was afraid I was going to see like The Rock from The Fast and Furious, The Rock from Rampage, or The Rock from San Andreas, because he's kind of all the same in all those movies. But in this, I feel like he really did a good job with that.
And going off of that is from what we heard, Baywatch didn't do so well, and so we were wondering how he was going to do in this film, and he actually did a really good job. I agree with Paul. He did excellent. Going back to the bad, not the bad, but I thought it was pretty interesting is that in the first Jumanji, it was all about kids, you know, trying to this movie is for kids and adult. Jumanji, the first one.
Oh yeah.
Because it has elements of having having a kid in the movie and interacting with kids. And this one, this is not kids friendly.
It's not really a kid.
It's not.
Me and my wife were discussing this. There's a couple penis jokes.
Yeah.
That are funny.
But I'm like,
Because it's a penis joke, but it's still it was
lacks-
not child appropriate.
and
really,
and that's the part, and that's one of the reasons that I thought kind of lacked. It's like, okay, apparently they don't want kids to draw in the kids for this movie. They want adults. So
Right.
this is not really your friendly kids movie like the first Jumanji. And so, but other than that, it's still a fun film for you to watch. What else anything else you want to add?
I think I'm good.
Okay,
That's
so let's
enough
give
to
it a
say
score.
about
What's the score you giving for this movie?
I'll give this movie a 7.
Oh, okay, I give this movie a 7.5. I
Okay.
thought it was pretty funny, so we recommend you seeing this. Yeah.
So, let me know if you've seen it. And then comment your rating down below.
I'm so thirsty.
And we'll see you next time.